Thanks for joining us again as we close out September of 2022 with a Norm Nathan show from September 29th of 1996. This one is titled BillyBobNorm. Stephen Adams was producing. Also, thank you for sticking with us, listening on your phones and from every other platform where we cast with no damn issues. Still no resolution to our little problem on YouTube. And with no response from my queries as to what's going on, I find that YouRUDE. Before we dive into this episode, I'd like to say namaste to our new listeners in India. Here we go. Billy Clyde's got his dander up in an excited dialogue with Norm about music then and now. Norm teases guest Bob Hernandez, who'll be playing his game Significa. And again, Norm is way behind in tacky, junky gift mailings. To dumb birthday game or not to dumb birthday game? That is the question. Shayna in traffic? Or not? Or maybe. Kevin in Dorchester with an interesting pregame discussion about Scrabble. Wally in Waltham. With a malfunctioning Peepers keyring in need of replacement, we have Marge in Indiana. Jim and Lowell, and another subject arises. Band records. Not band records, but band records. You follow? The birthdays. Oh, sorry to disappoint. Only the intro to the players was on the tape. But we now roll on to Bob Hernandez in the aforementioned game Significa. Bob will ask 3 questions, answer all 3, and win! Significa was a 4-pack of small travel games covering varying subjects. History, geography, literature, and more. All right, pen and paper ready, because here come the list of callers who played. Debbie in Malden, Bill from Lynn, Marion in Easton, Jenny from Plymouth, Joanne in North Reading, Ken from Rosendale, Christopher in Lowell, Christine in Worcester, Bob in Waltham, maybe. Joe from Melrose, Ann in Pennsylvania, Kelly from Weymouth. Oh, wait a minute, Bob is back. Dorothy in Bridgewater, Doug from Newton, Michael in Chelmsford, Whitney, Horace in Brookline, Matt in Weymouth, Laura from Pennsylvania, Lynn in Malden, Joel from Natick, Ken in Cambridge, Lisa from upstate New York, Bob in Leominster, Bill from Braintree, Bob in Richmond, Virginia, Jerry in Everett, John from Boston, and tell me if you recognize the voice. Heather in Wilmington, Mass., Priscilla from Weimar, Pennsylvania, Fred in Kennebunk, Maine, Vivian in Malden, Beth from Boston, and Jay in Dorchester. Tying up some loose ends, callers hearing Norm with an echo and a whoosh. Those new studios we were in were a gremlin's paradise for a while. Traffic reporters are a happy lot hoping for a big traffic jam. Jim says Norm has a nice singing voice, and Norm mentions he'll be singing with the Bob Batchelder Band to benefit Self-Esteem Boston at the Wonderland Ballroom in Revere. He had rewritten all the lyrics to Cole Porter's You're the Top. Stay tuned as I will replay that magnificent performance. And a question is posed. Where's the gong? Episode 106. BillyBobNorm begins in 3, 2, and 1.
Song.
No, but even
Jersey Dope.
All right. So there's a lot of junky kind of music at that point, also, and by vocalists who were not terribly good. By like the Tommy Tucker Band, which was not a great band either. We played a lot of that.
I worked for a guy that was an alumnus of the Tommy Tucker Band.
Okay, see, well, no, but I'm
all of them bad.
Yeah, no, I'm trying to make a point. We played Art Mooney with Cruising Down the River, which you would not call a great classic thing you wanted to hear. So there was a lot of junk music back then, too. It wasn't all Sinatra and Mel Torme and Peggy Lee. We mixed in a lot of... You just remember the good stuff.
Yeah.
And so now, today, there is some good stuff.
Oh, man, trust me. When I lived in Atlanta, they had unlimited selection, a source of good music. I never heard any bad music when I was down there in the 60s on the FM band at all. I thought I'd died and gone to heaven. And then I came back to North Carolina, and there was just a bunch of real good, easy listening, golden, oldie, mellow type, ballad type stations then, too. And then all of a sudden it dawned on me, they're gone. Every one of these stations are gone now.
Well, the stations that played the real good stuff that you're talking about, the kind that we would think of as good music, they didn't exist in great quantities either, even back then. A lot of the stations mixed that in with some junk music of the time. But you forget the junk stuff.
Well, I guess I was being selective without realizing it and probably dialing out those stations you speak of. I guess they were there, but certainly not in the abundance that they're there now.
No, I remember, for example, doing I had an all-night jazz show in the 60s and 70s, and I played most of what you're talking about, including Basie and Ellington and Woody Herman and all of that kind of thing. But even at that time, there were practically no other stations were doing that. By the 50s, during the time of, say, Elvis Presley and that period, along came rock and roll and pretty well wiped out a lot of what you're talking about. Because younger people felt that the kind of stuff we like is old hat, and it's establishment music, and it's crumb, and they wanted their own style. Every generation does.
But it's been around for 40 years, and it doesn't seem to want to go. I keep thinking, well, it'll go, but it never does. It's going to be there to haunt me to the grave, I guess.
Well, there's some fairly decent groups have come along in between.
One.
Well, I'm thinking of the Beatles, for example, who did a lot of very nice things. Do you think so, or do you think not?
Well, I think a lot of what they did was, I can take it or leave it. They did a few. I played them on the gigs, still do some of their songs, but it's the minority. I mean, the majority of them I thought were droll. I mean, they were just, I don't know, this kind of hackneyed. I mean,
because I think that a
It didn't turn me on, the majority of it, but some of them were golden. I mean, they were. I loved them, but
no, a lot of the groups are pretty awful, and I'm
the worst.
Wow, I'm kind of out of touch with music. I sit here and I talk all night.
No, you're not.
Yes, I don't listen to a lot of the music stations, so I don't even know. I don't know many of the groups except when I talk to my kids and when I talk to other kids and see what they like. A lot of them have tastes that are a lot better than what you might think, but. The average pop...
I hope so, because I'm not seeing the evidence of it on late-night television, certainly. I don't see it. I don't know. They trot these groups out one after another, and I'm thinking I can't abide one more of these groups with 4 and 5 guitars, and all of them sound like howling banshees. I'm so dadgone fed up with it, I could throw up. It's been, really, man, it's so wretched, it's unbelievable. It's bottomed out to where it's worse now, the music scene and the history of the country, I believe.
No, I know. Usually, I can clue you in on this. For example...
And I'm not promoting...
Well, no, wait, hold on a minute, Billy. Hey, steady. No, I know that, but steady now. Here's the thing, that the groups you're talking about usually appear at the end of the David Letterman show, and usually it's the last group on the Jay Leno show. They save them for the very end. They have the more interesting interviews in the front part. So what I do at that point, I tune them out, and I tune into Nick at night, and I watch the Mary Tyler Moore show, or the what's his name, Dick Van Dyke show. That kind of stuff. So don't watch what you don't like. I don't like those groups either. I can't identify with them. I just don't watch them. The reason they're put on, I think, is I'm not even sure Jay Leno and David Letterman like them.
No,
I think the reason they're on is because they're considered the music of the 90s and hip, and they're going for a younger audience, and so they're on. And
well, it's tough to take after. It's like going from the sublime to the ridiculous after Doc Severinsen and his band. Man, I just can't take it. I admire that guy that left Leno's show because he can play, Branford Marcellus. I respect him for quitting and going back into doing what he was doing, which is making fine music.
Well, I think the staff orchestra, the guys on there now, and Paul Schaefer with the Letterman, I think basically they're decent musicians and they play okay. You're talking about other groups that come on and kind of sit in with them for that last big number. Yeah, well, I'm not a big fan of them either.
Well, I haven't heard one yet that I thought was decent, that I'd go out and buy their record. You know, I mean, it's just nothing there, man. Let's face it. Tell it like it is. I mean,
no,
it's
I think we've told it like it is. I don't see how we could do any more than what we've said. But I don't.
Oh, I might figure out something.
Okay.
I'm not going to be mute on it, you know, or mute, I guess is the word.
Mute is a good word, yes.
Because it's gone far enough, man. I mean, it's the age of mediocrity now. I mean, when it comes to music, I mean, it's definitely mediocre.
Okay, what would you rather hear, that, or would you rather hear a wee Bonnie Baker doing "Oh Johnny, How You Can Love"? You remember that?
What? That would sound like heaven to me compared to what I've been hearing lately.
It was awful. It was awful stuff.
I know
that.
How about coconuts?
I've got a lovely bunch of coconuts. Merv Griffin and Merv.
Boy, that was a jewel.
Oh, wasn't that awful? Merv Griffin and
Didn't
the Freddie
you love
Martin.
that one?
No, I hated that
How
one.
about Elmer's Tune? There was one.
Well, that's different. I mean, you're talking the Glenn Miller band that recorded that. I mean,
that was a nonsensical tune.
Well, yeah. Well, it was. I know, but it was not hard to take.
Music at its worst is better than the best of what they would. Well, there's no best now because it's all terrible. But I tell you, I'm partial to orchestral arrangements, and I did get to hear something good the other night. Oh, yeah. King Cole's daughter came out and did a thing with strings.
I saw her.
I loved it.
Yes,
and her dad sang. I don't understand how they do that.
I don't either, but that's Natalie Cole, who sings duets with her father.
And I loved it when they dropped the strings out there. And had a touch of class.
Yeah, there you go. There's your answer. You say there's no good music. There's an example of good stuff.
That was good the other night. I forgot about that.
Okay. Well, you pay
now they're going to trot out 900 rock and roll groups again with 19,000 bad guitar players.
Billy, I got to go.
Okay.
I think you made your point very, very clearly.
I hope so.
Okay, take care. Bye, Billy. Oh, he's really tuned up, isn't he? Huh? One of the first game people, that is the first one who developed a game to come on the show with us, and it worked out so well. We've had so many since then, including Bob a number of times. Anyway, he'll be back tonight playing Significa, one of his newest games. I guess he's played that before. And the games, of course, to winners, and fun for all ages, and just a swell night's program. And, of course, the Dumb Birthday game is really kind of a swell program, too, and a swell game in which the winner wins a whole lot of junk. And each time I come on, I keep apologizing because there are a lot. We've got a lot of winners over the last few weeks, and I have not gotten the big envelopes, not even envelopes, they're even bigger packages of junk out to the winners. I've just been very negligent. I hope you'll forgive me, but I am, as you know, a State Department troubleshooter, and I spend lots of my time traveling around the world trying to put out the fires caused by, I don't know what, forget I said that. I'm beginning to ramble on it. I don't even find myself amusing, so I can imagine what you're thinking. Thank you. Okay, let's see who's playing the game with us. I hope Shayna is there. Shayna McConkey. You there, Shayna, our traffic lady? Would you give her a call and just remind her of this? Because usually our traffic reporters are just so darn nice about that kind of thing, and just as eager as anything to take part in this wondrous game. And she has played the game with us, I know, before. I'll get to her in just a minute. Let's go to Kevin in Dorchester. Kevin will be playing the game with us. Hi, Kevin.
Hey, Norm. How you doing?
I'm doing okay. What about you? Just tell me how you are, and don't hold back anything. I want to know the truth.
I'm doing real well.
Okay.
Actually, you're speaking about games.
Yes.
There's a game that I play, and I was wondering if you or your callers can help me out. I'm an avid Scrabble player, very competitive, but I have no Scrabble partners. So it makes it very hard to play.
Oh, I see. I just have to play with yourself. You can't find anybody who wants to play Scrabble with you?
No one that plays competitively.
Oh, competitively. Now, what does that mean exactly? You don't play just for fun?
Oh, yeah, for fun, but they play to win. I play
Okay,
to win. And
so in other words, you want somebody that's pretty skillful to really challenge you.
Exactly.
Okay, let me see. Okay, I tell you what. After the game, remind me to throw you over to Tom, and he'll take your name and address and phone number and all that kind of stuff.
Great,
And if anybody wants to play Scrabble with you competitively, who lives around the Boston area,
all right.
We'll pass their number along to you, and then you can get in touch with them.
That's right. We can meet at the Boston Library, I'm sure, you know.
Okay. Okay, did you follow the Scrabble Championships that were held about a month or two ago? Do you ever enter anything? I mean, is that competitive that you would enter?
I'm not that good. I think someday I will get that good, but not yet.
I think one of the guys that was one of the winners, I think was a student. I forgot. We talked with him, too, and I forgot his name or what school he went to, but he went to one of the colleges around here, and he competed with tons of people. That must really be something to win after that.
Well, I had a teacher many years ago who she was into like Scrabble clubs and stuff like that. But the most that she said that she's ever gotten in Scrabble was over 600 points.
It's been a while since I played Scrabble. Now, how many points do you get? What would you consider an unusually good score?
Anything above 300 is pretty good.
Okay, and you said the teacher got above 600?
Yeah, over 600.
Oh, so that was pretty good.
The highest I've gotten is 425.
Oh, okay.
So that's with 2 people playing. If you got 4 people playing, your scores are going to be lower because the points are spread out more.
Yeah.
So with 4 people playing, anything above 125 is pretty good.
Okay, good. We'll see what we can dig up for you.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do we have Shayna? Is she going to be with us, Tom? Is Shayna going to be? Okay. Oh, you're all set. Excuse me, Shayna. Hi.
Hi. How are you?
Okay, Shayna. Shayna McConkey, because you played the game with us before.
Yes, I did.
And you had such a bit of spice and excitement and everything to the game. I was feeling so badly because I thought maybe you said, the heck with that guy. Who needs that fat old guy? I'm taking off, man. I'm not going to play any games with him, fella.
I thought you forgot me today.
No, I didn't forget you at all.
I was excited when the phone rang. I'm on the game again.
Okay, that's really great. Now, you've been doing this traffic stuff for not too long. I think the first time we talked with you, you just had begun it here at WBZ.
It's my first night.
And how many nights how many weeks have gone by since then?
Just weekend, so about 3 or 4. This is probably my 4th. I think.
Okay, I wouldn't feel let's see, humiliated because it's only weekends, because that's all I work too.
No, I mean it wasn't a whole week's worth of traffic reporting.
Okay. Well, I'm glad that you'll be part of us. Well, I've already introduced, let's see, Kevin in Dorchester, the Scrabble player. Let me see who else you'll be playing with. Wally, who's in Waltham. That's a good name for a guy who lives in Waltham. Wally from Waltham. Sounds like the title of a comic strip.
Oh, I'm a comic. Okay, cousin.
Okay, how you doing?
Okay.
Have you played the game with us before?
Yes.
Okay, so you know all about this. I tell you who was born. Well, a lot of interesting people were born on September 29th.
Oh, really?
Which, of course, is today. So you'll get a chance to... I think what we run into very often is I dig up some names of... And sometimes some people don't know who they are. But I don't think that'll be a problem this time. I think you'll know most of the people I mentioned.
Oh, good.
So it'll be a hard nose-to-nose battle and just so darn exciting. And a woman who plays with us quite often, I think about every other minute, is Marge out in Indiana.
Hello.
Hi, Marge.
How goes it?
Do I owe you any gifts yet?
Not yet, but I'm still hoping to win another key ring because mine bit the dust.
Oh, that's right. You mentioned that. Okay, well, if you win tonight, then you get the famous Spring Peepers key ring.
Yeah.
Whoever wins gets that anyhow. And so I got a whole bunch to send out because I haven't sent out anything. I was just looking out the window here. It's raining very hard.
Mm.
I know that's not where you are in Indiana. It's probably not, maybe not raining at all, but...
It's raining cats and dogs and peepers.
Cats and dogs and peepers, that's right. And you need lots of rain because you need wet conditions, bogs and marshland, all that in order to have peepers.
I'm curious. I know these phone connections are sort of strange, and maybe you're not hearing this at your end, but I'm hearing music in the background, some sort of pop music.
Are you really?
Yeah, actually, I am too.
No kidding. No, I don't hear that, and I don't think the audience is hearing that at all. I don't know. Well, let me listen closely. Everybody.
I'm hearing it, Norm.
Yeah. Oh, really? Let's all be quiet. Let me see if I can hear it.
It's a stop.
I get it, I guess I hear it too. No, I don't hear it, and I don't think people listening in hear it at all. I have no idea why you're hearing it.
I know. There must be. It must be sort of a satellite connection, because actually when I click on, or when you click on a new contestant, it sounds like channels are being switched on a TV.
There is a kind of a whooshing sound when that happens, but none of those sounds are heard by the audience, by people listening in at all.
Well, one other thing. Someone beat me to the punch last night, or at least I couldn't get through. I tried to call and give you Von Meter's name as well. I used to have that record years ago.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up.
Yes, and in fact, it may still be at my parents' house for all.
No, that was a very big record, because it was probably one of the first recordings in which a president and his family were satirized. There hadn't been much of that recorded up to that point.
That's right.
And he sounded very much like the president, so it was a very popular record.
And it was very funny.
Yeah, and of course, when President Kennedy was assassinated, it kind of killed Von Meter, because he had been a stand-up comic up to that point, but he really cashed in on sounding like the president and doing that first family thing. And when the president was gone, that ended him.
Yeah.
So he may be sitting in some place in Findlay, Ohio, saying, "Yes, sir, I was big back then, but unfortunately." Anyway, let's go to Jim in Lowell. Hi, Jim.
Hi, how are you, Norm?
Hey, I'm okay. You sound like you're okay.
I'm just fine, thank you.
Any questions you'd like to ask any of us, including Shayna?
Well, I thought the music was coming from Shayna, but that's beside the point.
Well, she may be humming out there, because traffic, people who report traffic are generally a very happy lot. and you'll find them just sitting there, just humming and hoping for a 90-car traffic pileup or something.
Oh, that's horrible. I don't wish for bad traffic.
No, but I bet you wish for some traffic when we're talking about 20 after 3 o'clock on a Sunday morning.
Well, I've got the rain to work with tonight.
Well,
okay,
Norm,
that's right, too.
I have a question for you.
Yes.
You were talking earlier about Gloomy Sunday and records that had been banned.
Yes.
I have a banned record that I was wondering if you could guess what it was.
There was one other one that I'd forgotten about at the time. I don't know if it's the one you're talking about.
Well, it's not of that time. This one is from the early 60s.
Okay.
About 1962. This record was banned on Southeast radio, including Washington, just for the duration of a visit by Queen Elizabeth.
Boy, I can't even imagine what that would be. No, I don't know. Does anybody who's listening?
Well, there's one that I know of that was banned in the early 60s, but I don't know if this is what he was thinking of. They're Coming to Take Me Away, hey, hey, ho, ho, to the Funny Farm, etc.
Oh.
That was banned in New York, I think.
Yeah, that's not the one I'm thinking of. Queen Elizabeth visited Washington and a couple of cities in the Southeast, and they banned a record called The Battle of New Orleans by Johnny Horton.
Yes.
Hold on a minute. Let him finish that. By who's that by?
It was by Johnny Horton, the fellow.
Oh, I remember that. Now, why was that banned?
Because it makes it made a reference to "We fought the bloody British in the town of New Orleans," and it didn't paint a very good picture of the English.
Well, why would they?
Well, 1812.
Well, who would ban that though? That must have been banned by the individual stations or something. I mean, certainly the government doesn't ban records like that.
Oh, no. I said it was banned on radio stations, including radio stations in Washington.
Yeah.
So that she wouldn't, be walking by a radio and perhaps hear this record.
That's kind of funny. Okay, I can understand. I can understand them wanting to do that. I think they should not have done that. I mean, she's a grown-up lady. She could have taken it.
Yeah, that's true.
True. One record that had been banned, And again, I don't know whether it was a government thing or, of course, it might have been the FCC, and which is a government agency, was Love for Sale, which is love for sale. Who'll buy my young love for sale? That kind of stuff. I don't know. That kind of stuff doesn't happen anymore, so far as I know.
Well, you've got a great singing voice, Norm.
I have a rotten singing voice, but I thank you very much. Matter of fact, I've been mentioning I will be singing with a band, just one song, a week from, I guess it's a week from next Saturday or 2 weeks from this past
Where
day.
can I get tickets?
Just send me a whole envelope full of money, and I'll be sure that you get in okay. No, it's at the Wonderland Ballroom. There's a meeting of a whole bunch of people called the Self-Esteem Group. They expect several hundred people to be there. And anyway, I've gone through that before. I won't plug it anymore this day, but I don't even know why I mentioned it.
So what song will you be singing?
You're the Top, the Cole Porter song, except I've rewritten the lyrics. Yeah, that's right. You're the top. You're the Coliseum. You're the top. You're the Louvre Museum. But I won't be singing the Cole Porter's lyrics because I rewrote them to bring in words that apply, that would be familiar to people in this area, older people, and things that they remember, like the totem pole and the cyclone at Revere Beach and James Michael Curley's speech and all that kind of stuff, you know.
That sounds nice.
Yeah, and John Nemo's and that. So I'm kind of proud of the new words that I wrote, but I'm not proud of the way I'm going to be singing them. So it'll be more of a Rex Harrison, My Fair Lady kind of thing, where they'll probably be spoken more than sung. But if anybody wants to come out to Wonderland on the, I don't know what the date is. Is that the 9th? It's on a Saturday afternoon. The 7th? What is that? October 5th, is that on a Saturday? Yeah, that would be it then. That would be the date. At Wonderland Ballroom. They were talking about I guess I mentioned several hundred people. And I'll be singing with the Bob Batchelder Band, which is a big 16-piece swing band, which is really nice. Anyway, let's play the dumb birthday game. You all in favor of that?
You bet.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed, sir.
Okay. Or is, every time I laugh, I think of doing my David Letterman laugh.
Our Nathan show just makes me glow each weekend night. He's beyond compare and so debonair. He shines so bright. You're on BZ 103. Oh, please don't turn that dial. He makes me smile. Norm Nathan Show. Norm Nathan Show. Norm Nathan Show.
Tonight it's a game show night with Bob Hernandez, who has invented a number of games, and the one we'll be playing tonight is called Significa, and I'll call in Bob in just a little minute. He can explain it to you, but if you want to play the game, our phone number is 617-254-1030. But every line is lit up, and we just got on the air, and I hadn't even mentioned the number yet. Doing these game shows on the air was Bob Hernandez. Way back, I can't remember how long ago that was, but he's come out with a number of new games since then, and the newest one of them is called Significa. That's the one we'll play tonight. Anyway, Bob, it's nice to talk with you again. How you doing?
Oh, I'm doing great, Norm. It's good to be here again.
Okay, let's talk about Significa and how this game goes. Incidentally, as the theme was playing, every line lit up.
Is that right?
So everybody, they all love you. I tell you, Bob.
Well, maybe people think they have a chance to win the games, and what it is, it's a 4-pack of small travel games, and they're made up primarily of cards. And on the card, there are questions related to history, geography, literature, a variety of subjects, predominantly the stuff that we learned in school, but maybe sometimes we forget. But all the questions that I'll ask, they're things that we learned or should have learned, but maybe we've forgotten. Or in some cases, maybe we were never exposed to those particular subjects. But it's all pretty simple stuff, Norm. As I said, the history, geography, and some literature. And we'll throw in a few nicknames, maybe. Okay?
Okay, now people, all of the listeners who win, obviously win a game, win a Significa, is that right?
Correct. It's a 4-pack game made up of 4 different individual games, and they are travel games. They come in a small box, small plastic box, and within the box there are cards. And one particular game, Times of the World, is related to geography. Info Guess is general information. People might even call it trivia. Then we have Times of the World imprints, a picture game that you look at a picture, try to recognize it, and try to answer the questions on the back of the cards. So there's a variety of different games for the variety of tastes. And we'll give, unfortunately, obviously people can't see what the cards look like, but we'll give them an idea of what the questions are like. And here's the ground rules, Norm.
Okay.
3 questions, and they progressively get more difficult. If they answer all 3 correctly, we will ship them out their games. And I should say that your producer, Tony, will be handling shipment of the winners' games.
Okay. Yeah, Tony's the one who arranged this with you, but that is Tony Nesbitt. Steve Adams is the man on duty now, and he's the one who'll take the names and addresses and all that. We can show people how it works best by bringing in first Debbie, who's in Malden. Hi, Debbie.
Hi, Norm. How are you?
Good, thank you. You're on the air with Bob Hernandez.
Hello,
Great.
Debbie.
Hi.
And did you hear that? Do you understand how it works? You'll be asked 3 questions. It could be history, it could be geography, it could be literature. And if you answer all 3 correctly, you are the lucky winner, okay, of games that we'll be sending out to you.
Well, thank you. I hope so.
Okay. Here's the first question.
Okay.
What empire did the Spanish conquistador Hernando Cortez destroy in Mexico in 1521? Now,
Inca?
well, I was going to say there are choices.
Okay, I'm sorry.
This particular one does have choices. As I said, it will start easy and progressively get more difficult. Your choices are the Aztec, the Maya, or the Inca Empire.
Inca?
Now, do you want to stick with Inca? That is incorrect. It's the Aztec Empire. Yeah, the Incas were in present-day Peru, Colombia, all through the Andes Mountains in South America.
Okay, thank you very much. It was nice playing with you.
Well,
Okay.
Thank you for trying.
Okay, let's go to Bill in the city of Lynn. Bill, hi.
Hi.
You're on BZ with Bob Hernandez. All set to play?
All set. Hello, Bill. How are you this evening?
Fine, thanks. And yourself?
Just fine.
Muy bien.
Here's muy bien aquí también, Bill. You're multilingual, I take it.
See.
Bill, your first question. What Italian traveler of the Middle Ages, matter of fact, that was around 1255 A.D., established new links between Europe and China? And do you want the choices?
Marco Polo?
Marco Polo is correct. Number 2. In October 1957, boy, it was almost 40 years ago, a new era in exploration and communications began with the launching of what small Soviet satellite?
Sputnik.
Sputnik 1. Excellent. And going back in history here, this is the game-winning question for you. Between 1346 and 1350, how much of Europe's population do experts believe were killed by the bubonic plague or Black Death? And I'll give you choices. About 1/10 1/4 or 1/3?
1/3.
That's correct. 1/3 of the population was wiped out by the black death. Very good.
The audience applauds you, but still feels a little sorry for that tremendous death toll, which is unbelievable.
Oh, yeah. And, when you think of that, can you imagine if we had some plague like that affecting the population of the world today? We would think most certainly the end of the world is here.
I would think so. 1 out of 3 people dying in that.
Oh, man, that's just... And can you imagine people back then? I'm sure they thought the end of the world was here.
I know it. Hang in there, Bill, and talk to Steve, and we'll get your name and address and get a game out to you. With Marion in the town of Easton, Massachusetts. Hi, Marion.
Hi, how are you tonight?
Fine, thanks.
Good. Hi, Bob. How are you doing?
Just fine, Marion.
Good.
Here's your series of questions. Number 1. At a height of 29,208 feet, what is the highest mountain peak in the world? It was in the news here, not too long ago. People are always climbing it and end up dying up there because...
Right. Oh, it's terrible. Do I get choices or do you just...
Not on this one.
Okay, fine. The tallest peak in the world in...
Sir Edmund Hillary was...
Mount Everest.
Okay, give you...
Mount Everest, that is correct.
Okay, good. I was going to say you got 10 seconds left, but you got it.
Number 2. What is the largest continent in the world? Of the 7 continents, which one's the largest in landmass?
Asia.
Asia. Okay, and finally, here's the toughie. What nation, the 4th most populous in the world, is made up of over 14,000 islands that extend across an area 3,200 miles long? Fourth most populous country in the world. What would that be?
Give you about 20 seconds more.
Thank you.
I'll give you a hint. The capital is Jakarta.
India.
No, that would be Indonesia.
Indonesia.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Indonesia.
Oh, well, thank you very much.
You got 2 out of 3, Marion. That's pretty good, too.
Trying.
Okay, Jenny is... my youngest daughter went away on vacation last year, and she went to Indonesia, so I knew that.
Right.
But I can't imagine anybody going on vacation to Indonesia. But anyway, Jenny in Plymouth, you're on WBC. Hi, Jenny.
Hi, Norm. Hi, Bob.
Hello, Jenny.
You sound all eager and ready to go, are you?
Oh, supposedly.
Okay.
Okay. Hopefully you'll be a winner here, Jenny. First question. What was the nickname given to the gold prospectors that moved to California in the gold rush of 1849?
The 49ers.
The 49ers. Did you happen to watch them today?
No, I didn't.
Okay. Well, I think they won. They usually do. Number 2. In what year did California enter the Union to become the 31st U.S. state? And I'll give you some choices. Was that 1805, 1835, or 1850?
1850.
1850, obviously, the 49ers got there, and then I guess after they discovered all the gold, they figured it would make a good state, huh?
Okay, the 49ers did win, by the way, Bob.
Did they?
No, but you sound like you really care.
Yeah.
Did they really win? Maybe she had a bet on it, Bob.
Yeah.
San Francisco beat Atlanta, the San Francisco 49ers.
Oh,
39-17, so they won quite easily.
Huge margin there. And finally, the game winner for you, Jenny. Who was the Franciscan priest that founded 9 of California's 21 missions, including San Diego? So he went up and down the coast, San Diego, San Francisco, San Juan Capistrano. Who was the Franciscan priest? You're not Catholic, are you?
No, I'm not.
Gosh, you know they
You got about 10 seconds to guess whatever your religion is anyway, Jenny.
No, I missed this one.
Father Sarah. Have you ever heard of him?
No.
Nesbitt Sera.
S-E-R-A?
No.
S-E-R-R-A. Yeah, Father Sarah.
No. Well, thank you very much.
Well,
Let me
thank
cry.
you for trying.
Thank
Okay. You'll brighten up the program anyway, Johnny, even if you didn't have the right answer.
Yeah, I have a feeling that a Catholic would have gotten that pretty easily, Norm. Reason I say that is because they have I think it's called the Sarin Group, whose mission is to try to promote the priesthood.
Okay. Now, you spell that with 2 R's then, S-E-R-R-A?
S-E-R-R-A, yeah.
Okay. 254-1030, area code 617. I keep giving the phone number, but every line has been lit up since even before we got on the air. So let's go to Joanne in North Reading. You're on the air with Bob Hernandez and Significa. How you doing, Joanne?
Fine, thank you. Good evening, gentlemen.
Good
Hello,
evening.
Joanne.
Hello.
Your first question. The equator, the imaginary line around the middle of the Earth, is approximately how many miles long? And I'll give you some choices. To 14,000 miles, 19,000 miles, or 25,000 miles long?
I would say 25,000 miles long.
25, that's correct.
Good.
Number 2, the world's driest place, the Atacama Desert, had no rainfall from 1570 to 1971.
Oh, jeez.
That was 401 years. In what South American nation is the Atacama Desert? And I'll give you some choices.
Oh, thank you.
Okay. Would that be Brazil, Chile, or Uruguay?
Uruguay?
No, it would Chile.
That was the other one, because I know Brazil got the rainfall.
Yeah, Brazil gets quite a bit of rainfall, and Chile, because the way it's positioned next, the Andes run through it, and right on the east side of the Andes, it's difficulty, the clouds that come over and the rain, so that's where it's located at.
Yeah, it's a funny shaped country, isn't it? Long, skinny.
Oh.
And I suppose that you'd probably know if you heard people saying, boy, another great day for a picnic. Or something. Okay.
Thank you, gentlemen. I had a good time.
Oh, well, we had a good time with you too, Joanne. Thank you. Well,
Thanks for trying.
We'll go to Ken in Roslindale. Hi, Ken. You're on WBZ.
Hi, Norm. Hi, Bob.
Hi, Ken. Here is your first question, sir.
Okay.
Name the steamship and rail baron that established Vanderbilt University in Nashville, Tennessee in 1873.
Cornelius Vanderbilt?
Cornelius Vanderbilt, right. Which, by the way, I believe Vanderbilt University gave Notre Dame a good game here a few weeks ago.
I believe so.
Yeah. And number 2, in what year did Tennessee enter the Union to become the 16th U.S. state? And here are your choices. Would that be 1796, 1825, or 1844?
I think 1825?
No. 1796. Pretty amazing, isn't it, to think that it became a state so early on because I think the first state ever came into the Union in 1788. So I could see why you would say 1825. Thanks for trying.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, Ken, thank you. And Christopher in Lowell. Hi, Christopher. You're on WBZ with Bob Hernandez. That's who you're on WBZ with.
That's who I am, Norm. Yeah.
Okay. Are you there, Christopher?
Yes, good evening, John.
Okay, good evening.
Hello, Christopher.
Hello.
Along the banks of what river, which happens to be the longest river in the world, does 99% of the population of Egypt live? What's the name of this river?
The Nile River.
The Nile River, that's correct.
Good.
Number 2, name the Egyptian canal that connects the Red Sea and the Mediterranean Sea.
I'm sorry, could you repeat the question, please?
What is the name of the canal, man-made waterway, that connects the Red Sea and the Mediterranean Sea?
The Suez Canal.
The Suez Canal. That's good. And finally, what peninsula located in Asia is separated from the rest of Egypt and Africa by the Suez Canal? What's the name of this peninsula?
Okay, we have about 20 seconds for you to come up with an answer, Christopher.
The only answer I can think of, and I know it's incorrect, is the Iberian Peninsula.
No, it's the Sinai Peninsula.
Yeah, we got the Iberian Peninsula is way over in Spain.
Right,
Yeah.
France and Spain and Portugal.
Right, Spain, Portugal is located on the Iberian Peninsula. It's the Sinai Peninsula. Good try.
Oh,
Yeah, thank you for trying, Christopher. We haven't gotten too many winners so far.
I thought we would here. Well, maybe the computer's just spitting out these questions. Maybe they'll get easier. It's all random.
Okay. Let's take a little break and then I'm trying to think of what you
the Geographax.
Geographax, that's right. And then we had pastimes for the history, and then you've done just so many. You become a wheeler dealer in the game thing, Bob.
Oh, well, not really, but I've done a few, yeah.
What about now? Where are your games pretty generally available in most?
Some are, and retailers are pretty fickle. They want something that's moving out of the box or off the shelf very quickly. But in some areas you can find it in Toys R Us and so on. Other areas you can't. This particular Significa pack is available only on an 800 number. So.
Okay. What is the 800 number?
800-660-3653.
Okay, that's one.
And it's a super price. All 4 game packs. The game pack of 4 for $19.95. So.
Okay, if anybody missed the number, just drop me a note and I'll send it to you. But it's 1-800-660-3653.
And they can call during normal business hours.
Okay.
Okay.
Christine in Worcester, you're on WBC with Bob Hernandez. Hi, Christine.
Hello, Norm. Do we have a Sesame Street caliber here that I could try?
Well, you want to try the very easy ones, huh? I think you're probably calling yourself short. I suspect you could do the toughest ones in the world and win.
Thank you, Norm.
I think you'll do fine here on this one, Christine.
Incidentally, Steve Adams, our producer, who's taking down the names of winners, hasn't had much to do along those lines. And he says we're wearing out your wrong buzzer, and the audience is just ready to applaud a winner. And maybe you'll be the next one, Christine.
Well, and Christine, just don't let, for lack of a better word, don't let nervousness or stage fright get to you. Just these questions, I think, are fairly simple, but sometimes people get a little bit nervous and can't think straight. But here's your first one, okay? What nickname was given to homesteaders that settled in Oklahoma earlier than the law allowed? And by the way, it happens to be the nickname of the largest university there in Oklahoma. What were they called?
Well, that eliminates the carpetbaggers.
Right. No.
I'm sorry, could you repeat it? I was...
You're stalling, aren't you, Christine? We know your tricks.
What nickname was given to homesteaders that settled in Oklahoma earlier than the law allowed?
I'll give you about 15 more seconds just to come up with an answer, Christine, if you would.
And I'll give you a hint. The University of Oklahoma...
Oh, the nickname for the football team.
Right.
That right is the name. And also, the state itself has that nickname.
Exactly.
Is it the Raiders or... No.
No?
No, I'm sorry. The time is up on that one.
What is it?
Have you heard of the term Sooner?
Not lately.
Not this morning.
Yeah.
I see. Yeah, the Oklahoma is the is that right, Bob? The Sooner State and the
Sooner State,
and
right.
the college football team are known as the Sooners.
As a matter of fact, I believe it was Oklahoma City that in April 22nd, 1889, in one day, 10,000 people moved in.
Oh my. Okay, let's go to Bob in Waltham. Bob, you're on WBZ.
Hi, Norm.
Hi.
Hello, Bob.
Hey.
Okay, by the way, I think I'm correct in this is the first presidential debate next Sunday night. Is that right?
I believe that's true. You know what I just did? I did something really stupid. I hit the wrong button and I hung up on Bob, who should be on the line now. So, Bob, do call back again. In the meantime, we'll talk with Joe in Melrose, and I hope Bob calls back. I apologize for that. Anyway, Joe, you're on with Bob Hernandez.
How you doing, Norm?
Good.
Hello, Joe.
How you doing, Bob?
Here's some questions related to the presidents, okay?
Okay.
Name the president who served the longest term.
That would be FDR.
FDR, right. He was elected 4 times.
Okay.
Number 2, who was the youngest man ever elected president?
That would be JFK.
JFK. Are you from Massachusetts, sir?
Yes, I am.
Okay. By the way, Teddy Roosevelt was the youngest president ever, but he, of course, he went into the presidency after McKinley was assassinated.
Right.
And finally, here's a gimme if I ever saw one. Name the president who served the shortest term.
Oh.
And I'll give you choices on this one, okay?
Thank you.
Would that be Martin Van Buren, Gerald Ford, William Henry Harrison, or Lyndon Johnson?
That would be William Henry Harrison.
William Henry Harrison. Just for the heck of it, do you know about how long he served?
Thank you, Norm. I think that was about, it was like 3 months.
Yeah, 31 days.
31 days.
He caught cold, I think, at his inaugural address
Right.
and stuff, and died soon after.
Did he die?
Yeah, William Henry, was that John Tyler who succeeded him, I think, was it? Tippy Canoe and Tyler, too. I forget, something like that. Anyway, I'm sorry, but I'm so busy showing everybody how smart I am, I forgot how far along are we. Was that the first or second question?
That's number 3.
Oh, that was it. Oh, that's right.
Right.
I should have guessed that by the applause of the kids here. Okay,
He was the winner.
I have a question for you, Norm.
Yes.
Some time ago, I've listened to your show for a long time, and I enjoy your show greatly. But a long time ago, when you used to have these games, instead of using the buzzer when people lost, you had this gong. Whatever happened to it?
Oh, well, we have a whole different technical setup now. I don't have the gong here.
You haven't used the gong in a long time.
No, I haven't. See, I mean, I one day I don't want to take too much time away from the game, but we have a different setup since we moved to the new studios, and some of those effects that we had before are not available now.
Oh.
It's kind of too bad, but, you know, you move into bigger and better studios and you lose something. I don't see the point. But anyway, hold on, and here's Steve to take your name and address. And meantime, we'll go to Ann in Pennsylvania. Hi, Ann. You're on with Bob Hernandez and Significa.
Hi, Bob. Hi, Norm.
Hi. Hi, Ann.
Hello, Ann.
Hi.
Here's your first question.
Okay.
75% of the Russian people live on what continent? Now, don't answer too quickly. Just give it a little bit of thought. 75% of the Russian people live on what continent?
Asia?
No, it's Europe.
Is it Europe?
Yeah, I would have guessed Asia too, I think, because that sounded like a trick one, you know, because you think of Europe, and part of it is in Asia.
Right.
So I'm just learning so darn much, I tell you. I'm just excited. Let's go to Kelly and Weymouth. Kelly, you're on with Bob Hernandez.
Hi, Norm.
Hi, how you doing, Kelly?
Hello, Kelly.
Hi, Bob.
Your first question. In 1947, who led India in the fight for independence from Great Britain?
Gandhi?
Gandhi, yes. Mohandas Gandhi, or the nickname Mahatma, the great soul. Number 2, with close to 1 billion people, where does India rank in population among the nations of the world?
Second,
Number 2, very good. By the way, what's number 1?
China.
China. And, of course, we heard a while ago that Indonesia was number 4.
We did.
Not to get off the subject here, but we've identified 1, 2, and 4. What do you think number 3 is? This is just a side question.
Oh, good. I don't know.
Norm, do you know what the third largest nation in the population the world is?
Would it be India? Do we say India was one of the others?
China, India is number 2.
Oh,
Number
China,
4
India.
is Indonesia, and number 3 would be...
Would that be that be the Soviet Union? Well, there is no Soviet Union.
It would be us, the United States.
Oh, how could I miss that? Okay.
The United States.
Okay. Wish you wouldn't ask me these things. You're taking away my credibility,
I'm
Bob.
putting you on the spot, Norm.
Okay.
Okay, and it's Kelly, right?
Yep.
Kelly, this is a game-winning question for you. What religion, which combines elements of Hindu and Muslim beliefs, has played a major role in the economy and politics of India?
So I get choices?
No choices. I'll give you a hint. It was Indira Gandhi's bodyguards that belonged to this particular religion that conspired to assassinate her.
Can you repeat the question again?
What religion, which combines elements of Hindu and Muslim beliefs, has played a major role in the economy and politics of India?
Can give you just about 10 seconds because you had time to think during the repeat of the question.
I don't know.
Have you heard of the Sikh religion, Sikhism?
No.
Sikhs? You've never heard of Sikhs, huh?
Was it S-I-K-H? Or
Correct. S-I-K-H.
Okay. Hey, thank you very much, Kelly. I think she hung up before I said goodbye. She was disgusted.
She may not have been too pleased with that. I asked her all these questions about populations, and we kind of grilled her, and then she ended up not winning. I hope I didn't upset her.
Okay. Bob is back in Walton. Bob, I apologize for hanging up on you. It was a mistake on my part, but you're on now with Bob Hernandez.
Okay, no problem. Hi, Bob. Hello, Bob, again. Okay, in 1865, who became the first U.S. president to die by assassination?
Abraham Lincoln.
Abraham Lincoln, that is correct. Number 2, in what year did George Washington take the oath of office as the first president of the United States? And I'll give you some choices on the years. Was that 1776, 1783, or 1789?
1783.
No, that would be 1789.
I'm sorry, Bob. Thank you very much. Appreciate you trying. We'll go to Dorothy in the city of Bridgewater. Hi, Dorothy.
Hello.
Hi. You're on the air.
Dorothy.
You're on the air playing Significa with Bob Hernandez.
Okay,
How I
Dorothy.
win? I give the games to my daughter, who's a teacher.
Oh, she'll enjoy it. And we've had somewhat of a dry spell, Dorothy, here. Maybe you can help us out and be a winner, okay?
I hope so.
Until 1991, Russia was a republic of what former superpower nation?
Oh, Soviet Union.
Soviet Union, right. Number 2, in land area, where does Russia rank in size among the nations of the world?
Russia?
Russia, yes.
By 4.
No, it's the largest nation in the world in land area.
Oh, I'm sorry,
I know
Dorothy.
that. I have a daughter who lives near the Russian border.
No, even after it's spun off all the republics, it's still the largest area in the world.
Yeah. Where's your daughter, Dorothy?
Finland.
Oh, she's in. Oh, that's right. You're right next door.
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, thanks for trying, Dorothy. I'm sorry you didn't win.
Well, thanks.
Thank you very much. Michael in let's see. We got Doug in Newton. Hi, Doug.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Hello, Doug.
How are you?
Just fine. Doug, here's your first question. True or false? China has about 1/5 of the world's population.
True.
True. So one out of every 5 people are Chinese. Number 2, with about 1 billion native speakers, what is the most common language in the world?
English.
Well, I'll give you a second chance there. With about 1 billion native speakers, what is the most common language in the world? I emphasize the word native.
Chinese.
Chinese, yes. Okay. That was very nice of you, Bob. You bent over backwards.
Well, I said we've hit a dry spell here, and where does of course it's later out there, right? It's midnight, so maybe.
Yes, it is. It's an hour because you're out in Kansas,
right?
Wichita.
Yeah.
It's 10 minutes to
it's
midnight.
Earlier here, so we're not as sleepy. Therefore, we probably think it's later.
I see. Okay.
You folks are a little bit more tired. Where does China rank in land area among the nations of the world? And I'll give you choices. Would it be first, second, or third?
Second.
That's number 3. Number 3.
Oh, I'm sorry, Doug. Thank you very much for trying. I keep thanking people for losing. I don't mean to put it quite that way.
It's number 3. Russia's number 1. I won't give out who number 2 is because we'll probably use that later on.
Okay. Michael in Chelmsford. Hi, Michael. You're on WBZ.
Morning, Norm. I feel lucky I managed to kill this mosquito that's been bugging me for the last hour.
Well, I'm glad. We'll alert the newsroom to that.
I do know.
We'll lead off the
the
midnight news.
largest country in Mount landmass.
What's that?
I know the number 2. It's Canada.
Canada, right? Our neighbor to the north. Very good. And
So I'm just too darn competitive. I had to call.
Okay. Well, we'll see how you do. Your first question. In what year did Captain James Cook become the first person to claim Australia for Great Britain?
Do you mean James Cook or James Kirk?
No, James Cook.
You're a little too smart for your own good there, Michael. Just simmer down a bit.
Here are your choices for the years. Would that have been 1100, 1770, or 1922?
It was 1770.
1770, that's correct. Number 2, in 1788, British Captain Arthur Phillip founded the first settlement in Australia. What type of colony was this first settlement?
It was a penal colony.
Very good. Penal colony. And finally, Australia is a nation and a continent. What is the capital of this continent nation? And it's not where the next Olympics will be, I'll tell you that.
Okay.
It's 20 seconds more.
Okay.
What's the capital of Australia?
It's Canberra.
Very good, Canberra. Excellent.
Okay, you win a game, Michael.
Thank you.
Everybody's cheering you on. If you could do something about your voice, it's much too beautiful, and I feel threatened with it.
I
So
used
knock
to be
it
on the
off.
radio, Norm.
Where was that?
Oh, I worked down in Texas and in Georgia.
Oh, you sound good. When was the last time you were a broadcaster?
Last time I was broadcasting was about 5-6 years ago. But then I became more legitimate. I went into public relations.
Okay. Okay, hold on and talk to Steve Adams. We'll get the information from you. Thanks for calling. Okay, I hate to do this, but let's just take a little break. Hi, Whitney. You're on with Bob Hernandez.
Hi, Bob.
Okay, here's Bob. Hi, Bob.
Yes, Whitney, here's your first question. You know how this works, right?
I hope, yeah.
Okay, question number 1. What river forms a large section of the national boundary between the United States and Mexico?
The Rio Grande.
The Rio Grande, right. We call it the Rio Grande. People in Mexico call it Rio Bravo del Norte.
Oh, I like that better.
Yeah. Number 2, in land area, what are the 3 largest U.S. states?
Alaska.
That's right. That's number 1.
Texas.
That's correct. And
California.
excellent. Very good.
Wonderful. Yeah, that's great.
And final question. There are 4 state capitals that are named after U.S. presidents.
Name one.
Name 2 of them. Just 2.
Okay.
You know, before I would ask people to name all 4, but maybe 1 out of 100 could do it. So name just 2 state capitals named after U.S. presidents.
Okay, there's Lincoln, Nebraska.
Right.
Oh, gosh. Oh.
I give you about 10 more seconds.
I guess, holy mackerel, this is terrible. I'm thinking. Oh. I can't think of
Oh, I'm sorry.
Boy. Well, Madison, Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Jefferson City, Missouri. Jackson, Mississippi. Those are the 4. Good try.
Yeah, thank you very much, Whitney. We're gonna just take a break for the news coming up. A few minutes while we had the news on, and we're playing Significa in Brooklyn. Horace, you're on the air with Bob Hernandez here at BZ.
Hi, Bob. Hi, Norman.
Hi.
Hi, how
Hello,
are you doing?
Horace.
Hi.
Your first question, sir.
Okay.
It's another guy with a deep voice. I'm really threatened.
Okay.
What is the capital and largest city of Puerto Rico, or as they say in Brooklyn, Puerto Rico?
San Juan.
San Juan, very good. Number 2, if Puerto Rico were a U.S. state, where would it rank in land area among the 50 U.S. states? Would it be 10th? Would it be 33rd? Or would it be 49th?
I think 49th.
49th, that's correct. It's a pretty tiny state.
Okay, great.
Finally, name the island chain of which Cuba, Jamaica, Hispaniola, and Puerto Rico are a part of.
Antilles?
Well, that's correct. The Greater or the Lesser Antilles?
Okay. Greater.
Greater, very good. I knew you knew it.
Okay.
You know, the Antilles separate the Caribbean, of course, from the Atlantic. So, very good.
Oh, great. Thank you.
Okay, you're a winner, Horace.
You're a winner.
Great.
Okay, let's go to Matt in Weymouth. Hello, Matt. You're on WBZ.
Hi, Norm. How you doing, Bob?
Hello, Wayne. Matt, I'm sorry. It's you're in Weymouth. Matt in Weymouth.
Yes, sir.
That's right.
Okay. First question for you, sir. What is the capital and largest city of Egypt?
Cairo?
Cairo. Right. It has about 6.5 million population. And sticking with the Egyptian theme, what woman, a lover of Julius Caesar and wife of Mark Antony, became Queen of Egypt in 51 BC?
Would be Cleopatra?
Cleopatra, that's correct. And finally, number 3, this is a game winner for you. Name the president of Egypt, who was also a 1978 Nobel Peace Prize winner, who was assassinated by Muslim fundamentalists in 1981.
Anwar Sadat.
Anwar Sadat. Very good.
Excellent.
No applause?
Two in a row. He's winding up the tape machine, I guess.
Yeah, do we have, no, that's Steve. Steve Adams is the one who's coaching the audience. I guess he forgot to raise his hand. He was still trying to get the name of and the address of the last winner. And the newest winners, you, Matt, and Weymouth, thank you very much for playing the game with us. Okay, let's go to Laura, who is in Pennsylvania. Hi, Laura.
Hi.
Hello, Laura. Your
Hello?
first question. Hello?
Hi.
You must have the phone halfway down your throat, Laura. You're coming in really big. Anyway, I'm sorry to break your train of thought. If I did that, you're on the air with Bob Hernandez and Significa.
Hi.
Okay, are you ready for your first question?
I am.
Okay, number one. What man, the greatest war leader of the Apache tribe, died in Oklahoma in 1909? And here are your choices. Was that Crazy Horse, Geronimo, or Sitting Bull?
Sitting Bull?
Did you watch, no, yeah, I don't know if they referred to him, but Dances with Wolves, I don't think they referred to Sitting Bull. But no, Sitting Bull was Sioux, so was Crazy Horse.
Oh.
Geronimo was Apache, and he died in Oklahoma. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you for trying, Laura. Appreciate you calling all the way from Pennsylvania. And we'll go to Lynn in Malden. Or this is not Malden who's in Lynn, by any chance. Lynn, how you doing?
Fine, thank you.
Good. I thought I just said something terribly witty, and I didn't get any reaction from
My
you.
daughter's name is Chelsea, so let's add up all the cities
Oh,
here.
realize? Really? That's funny. Okay, anyway, you're on the air and busy with Bob Hernandez and Significa.
Good morning.
Good morning, Lynn, right?
Yes.
Okay, Lynn. The Nigerian economy, one of the...
Can you say that again?
Yeah. The economy of Nigeria, okay, the nation of Nigeria,
Yeah.
which is one of the richest in Africa, is dominated by what natural resource? And corruption is not a natural resource, by the way. Okay? Would that be gold, iron, or petroleum?
Gold?
No.
Petroleum.
Petroleum. Yeah, it's very rich in petroleum.
Oh, you said South Africa. I was thinking
South
of
Africa,
Krugerrand.
is wealthy in gold, large producer of gold.
Hey, thanks for trying, Glenn.
Thank you.
My best to Chelsea.
Yes.
Okay, take care.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. We'll go to Joel, excuse me, in Natick. Joel, hi.
Hi, how you doing?
Good.
Hello, Joel. How are you?
Fine.
Joel, your first question. What peak, the highest mountain in Japan, is considered a sacred place by the Japanese? It's a famous landmark. They show it in all the pictures. Highest mountain peak in Japan.
Is it, I'm not sure, is it Yokomoto?
No, it would be Mount Fuji.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Mount Fuji.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Thank you for trying, Joe. We're a little late with the buzzer, but anyway, okay. Let's go to Ken in Cambridge. Ken, you're on WBZ with Bob Hernandez. How you doing, Ken?
Good, Tom. I see Bob's back, I see.
Hello, Ken.
Hi, Bob.
How's it going?
All right.
First question for you, sir. In 1949, what person founded and became the leader of the People's Republic of China?
Mao Zedong.
That's correct. Mao, excellent. Number two, surviving for almost 300 years, the Manchu dynasty, the last monarchy of China, ended in what year? And I'll give you some choices. Would that have been 1757, 1841, or 1912?
1841.
No, 1912 was the end of the Manchu dynasty.
Oh, boy.
Okay, I'm sorry, Ken.
Good
Thanks.
try.
Thank you.
Thank you for trying. Lisa, up in upstate New York. How you doing, Lisa?
Hi,
Hi, how are you? Fine.
Good, good.
I'm fine.
Hello, Lisa.
Hi.
Okay, here's your first question. California is made up of 58 counties, and 33 of these counties individually, by the way, are larger in area than the smallest U.S. state. What is the smallest U.S. state?
It's funny with all the New Englanders who call. That question goes to somebody from New York State.
Rhode Island?
Rhode Island.
I kind of tipped it off, didn't I? Okay.
Yeah. I think it took me about, maybe an hour to drive through Rhode Island. Is that right? I drove through there one time.
Yeah, it would take. In fact, some of the other New England states, like Massachusetts, you can drive through in less than 3 hours. But there was a song in a show, and I can't remember the show, but it was called "Poor Little Rhode Island," the smallest of the 48. We were just 48 states at that time. Anyway.
Yeah, it's pretty tiny. And you got one down. You have 2 more to go. About 1/3 of California's population belongs to what ethnic group? And do you need choices for that one? Would that be African American, Hispanic, or Native American?
Hispanic.
Hispanic, right? We get a lot of the people from Mexico come up. I have a lot of cousins down there. And number 3, game winner for you. Los Angeles is the 2nd most populous city in the U.S. What is the 2nd most populous city in California?
The 2nd most populated, you mean?
Populated, yes. In California.
I don't know, San Francisco?
No, San Diego.
Oh.
San Diego, where they had the Republican convention here, about a month ago? And also, big news here in this part of the country. Today, San Diego Chargers defeated the Kansas City Chiefs.
You seem to be really excited about that, Bob. Why is that?
About what?
About the San Diego win.
No, I'm not. I'm a little bit disappointed being from Kansas.
And the Padres.
Oh, that's right.
And the Padres beat the Dodgers.
That's right.
Too.
Big sports day.
And clinched their division head.
Oh, that's right. San Diego beat Kansas City. I'm sorry. I pulled up.
Now the only thing left to do is to elect that fella that was nominated in San Diego, right?
I can't remember which party had their convention in San Diego. Was the Republicans or Democrats?
Right. Yeah.
The Republicans.
Right.
Okay, well, we'll have a debate on whether we ought to elect that guy or not.
Being from Kansas, we all kind of root for Bob Dole.
Oh, that's right, too. You're from his home state. I forgot. Bob in Leominster. Hi, you're on WBZ with Bob Hernandez and Significa.
Good morning, Bob and Norm. How you doing?
Fine, thank you. As we say here in New England, the game would be called Significa. But same game.
Very well.
Okay. First question for you. Who was the Soviet leader during the Cuban Missile Crisis in 1961?
I believe that would be Khrushchev.
That's correct, Nikita Khrushchev. Number 2. In April 1986, in a terrible disaster, what Soviet nuclear plant spewed dangerous clouds of radiation over several European nations?
Chernobyl.
Chernobyl, that's correct. And finally, who was the ruthless Soviet dictator that ruled from 1924 until his death in 1953?
Stalin.
Stalin, right.
Wow! I'm a winner! I'm so excited.
You get a copy of the Significa game.
That's so excited.
You did very well.
Thank you very much.
You must know your history or your Russian history.
Boy, I can't believe that you asked me 3 Russian questions that I got right.
Okay. In Braintree. Hi, Bill.
Hi, Norm. Hello, Bill.
Hello.
Your first question, Bill. On what continent did all of the world's major religions begin? On what continent?
Asia.
Pardon?
Asia.
Asia, that's correct.
Good.
Number 2.
God, I get the religious questions.
Yeah. Well, these aren't too tough. What person born in Mecca in 570 A.D. is considered one of the most influential people ever to have lived? Muhammad, that's correct. And finally, what major religion has the largest following in the world?
Say Buddhism.
No, believe it or not, Christianity.
Oh.
With about 1.6 billion adherents.
I'm sorry, when you said religion, I thought you, rather than group everything as Christianity, it would have been Catholics or Protestants, Lutherans, whatever.
Yeah.
Because there are more individual Buddhists than anything because of the Chinese.
Well, yeah, but
okay.
we're talking people that I guess believe in Christ.
Okay.
Hey, thanks, Bill. I'm sorry. I thank you for calling. And we'll go down to Richmond, Virginia. Nice to have you calling from there, Bob. How you doing?
All right, I've done pretty good so far. I'll probably choke. I've known everyone.
Well, yeah, it's easier somehow to answer other people's questions than your own, I know.
Have you been listening a little bit, Bob?
Yes.
Okay, I think you'll do fine if you, because we're going to refer to some of this stuff here in this series. Number one, Brazil occupies almost 1/2 of what continent?
Any choices?
No, well, there's 7 continents. You know the 7 continents? Which one of those? We can exclude North America. We know Brazil isn't North America, right?
Right. Asia?
No, I'm sorry, Bob. Thanks. I'm sorry he called all the way from Richmond, Virginia. I wish he could have done better.
I thought Bob was going to nail this one, but
I thought I don't mean to rub his nose in it, but I thought everybody would have known South America on that.
Yeah.
But maybe I should have given the answer away.
Okay. Well, sometimes long weekends, we aren't thinking too clearly.
You're very polite. Jerry and Everett, you're on WBZ. Hi, Jerry.
Hi, Norm.
Hi.
Hello, Jerry.
Hi.
Here is your first question.
Okay.
In 1948.
I wasn't born yet, yes?
Okay. Well, most of these questions we weren't...
All of us weren't born yet.
But I love when people say that. It's like, I wasn't born when Abraham Lincoln was president, but I know he was president. So what kind of a comment is that?
But coincidentally, this probably, this particular area is probably the most prominent in the news right now, as we speak. In 1948, Israel was declared an independent nation, and Tel Aviv became the capital. What city is now the capital of Israel? Hello?
Oh, gosh. I don't watch the news.
Did you read the paper?
No, I don't get a newspaper.
Did you accidentally turn the radio on and you hear this blaring? Have you heard anything about this tunnel that the Israelis finished up and dug through and upset the Palestinians? And
Beirut?
No. You've heard of Jerusalem?
Yeah, Jerusalem.
Oh, yeah, Jerusalem.
Yeah, I thought your name Jerry was short for Jerusalem.
Yeah.
Geraldine.
I guess I must have missed on that one.
You might want to pick up the paper tomorrow, Jerry.
It's hard for me to imagine somebody not ever reading the newspapers at all. Anyway, John in Boston, you're on WBZ with Bob Hernandez. Hi, John.
Hi, how are you?
Good.
Hello, John.
Yes, sir.
We'll stick with the Israeli theme, okay? What is the historic name of the land on which most of modern-day Israel is located? I'll give you choices because the question is it the Congo, Palestine, or Troy?
Oh, Palestine.
You're good. We've had a series of pretty good people on here, Norm. Number 2, in 1969, who became the first woman Prime Minister of Israel?
Golda Meir.
Golda Meir. Excellent. And finally, in 1949, 20 years later, or 20 years earlier.
20 years before.
Yeah, 20 years earlier.
Yeah.
What person became the first prime minister of the new nation of Israel?
My God, I want to say Ben Gurion, but it might be wrong.
Well, are you going to say that, or are you going to?
Are you going to give me a choice?
No choices here.
I'll have to say Ben Gurion.
And you were right. That's absolutely
I thought when you said also Golda Meir is from Milwaukee, which she was from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, which is.
Well, I'm from Australia, so it makes it a bit tough.
Well, I don't know. Australians, I always thought, were pretty literate, sharp people, and you just proved they are. So hold on and talk to Steve Adams, and we'll get the game out to you, John.
And I think he's the first Australian tonight to have won, right?
I think so, yeah. And I guess he's an American because well, maybe he's not. Maybe he's just visiting. We'll go to Heather, who is in Wilmington, Massachusetts. Hi, Heather.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, Heather. Your first question. What city with a population of over 3 million is the capital of Italy?
Venice.
No. The capital of Italy is Rome.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks for trying.
Yeah, thank you, Heather. And again, our phone number, if you'd like to take part in all of this, is 254-1030, and the area code is 617. We'll go to Pennsylvania, and Priscilla. Hi, Priscilla.
Hello.
Now, where in Pennsylvania are you?
Waymart?
Now, is that anywhere in Harrisburg, in that area?
No, closer to Scranton.
Oh, Scranton, okay.
Okay. Priscilla from Pennsylvania. That's good. Okay, your first question, Priscilla. Name the Spanish conquistador, and we talked about him earlier, I think, who is considered the greatest conqueror of the Americas. Would that have been Balboa, Coronado, or Cortez?
The greatest conqueror
of the Americas, correct. One of those three, Balboa, Coronado, or Cortez.
Give you about another 10 seconds.
Cortez?
Cortez, yes.
Okay, good.
Defeated the Aztecs here. Not much of a fight, but number two, you were going to say something, Norm?
Yeah, I was going to talk off the air to Steve Adams, so I'll be quiet.
Name the supposedly invincible fleet of Spanish ships that was defeated by the English in the English Channel in 1588.
The Armada.
The Spanish Armada. Very good, Priscilla.
Excellent. You have won again, Priscilla.
Well, no.
We have one more. I'm sorry. The audience was so eager for her to win that they applauded prematurely. I beg your pardon.
We can't give her two because everyone else would get upset. You'd get a lot of nasty letters, Norm.
Yeah, okay.
We need to be fair. This is the game winner for you, Priscilla. The nations of Portugal and Spain are located on what large peninsula?
The Iberian Peninsula.
Excellent. Did you hear that earlier tonight?
No, I was always good in geography in school.
Really?
Yes.
Excellent.
Okay, because we did. Yeah, we
I
did.
lived in Massachusetts at one time.
But you didn't like it, so you moved to Pennsylvania.
No, my husband was stationed here in the service.
Oh, I see. Okay.
I loved it.
Well, come back. We have a place for you.
I'd love to.
Okay.
Congratulations.
Yeah, congratulations. You win, and we'll go to Fred, who's up in Kennebunkport, Maine. Hi, Fred.
That's right. How you doing, Norm, Bob?
Hello, Fred.
How you doing?
Pretty good. Here's your first series, first of your three questions.
Okay.
Number one, the major confrontation between the U.S. and the Soviet Union in 1962 over the removal of nuclear warheads from Cuba was known by what name?
The Cuban Missile Crisis.
Cuban Missile Crisis.
Don't have
That's
any other
correct.
name for it.
That is correct. Number 2. What is the last name of the Cuban leader that Fidel Castro overthrew in 1959?
Batista.
Batista.
Fulgencio Batista.
Very good.
Love the way he says that.
You know your history there. Very good.
So far.
Well, here's the winner for you. Okay. And actually, this is multiple choice, so you'll probably get it.
Okay.
In what year did Cuba gain full independence from Spain? Was that 1902, 1912, or 1922?
1902.
That's correct.
Okay, you're a winner, Fred.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Very good. Yeah, right after that was just right after the Spanish-American War.
Right after the Spanish-American War.
Okay, Fred, congratulations, and we'll go on to Vivian in Malden. Vivian, you're on with Bob Hernandez, and we're playing Significa.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hello, Vivian.
Hello.
And speaking about wars, I think the Persian Gulf War was maybe the shortest, but the Spanish-American War was also very, very short. Here's the, quote, longest war we were in. What country, the most populous in the world, is located on the northern border of Vietnam?
Northern border of Vietnam?
Yeah, the clue is what country, the most populous in the world, is located on the northern border of Vietnam?
China?
China. Right.
Yeah, good.
Number 2, Ho Chi Minh City, population 3 million, the largest city in Vietnam, was renamed in 1976. What was the former name of Ho Chi Minh City? I'll give you choices. Was that Hanoi, Peking, or Saigon?
Peking?
No. Saigon, yes.
I'm sorry, Vivian. Thanks for trying.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Peking is in China. Now they call it Beijing.
Yeah. Beth in Boston. Hi, Beth. You're on WBZ.
Hello.
How you doing?
All right.
Good. Just speak up just a little bit if you would, Beth.
Okay.
That's good.
Beth, let's come over stateside a little bit. And Beth, do you know what the capital of Montana is?
Oh, no, I don't.
You don't?
Uh-uh.
I always thought it was a bad idea to designate a whole day to Montana, because if you're sick that day, you blow it.
It's a beautiful state. Obviously, can I be a smart pippic here and give you the answer?
Go ahead.
Because I've been there. It's Helena, Montana, and they've got a great Remington museum there of Remington sculptures and paintings of the Old West and everything. It's a lovely city out there in the Rockies.
Yeah.
So go there, Beth, and you'll never forget that Helena is the capital of Montana.
Thank you.
It is pretty. I was there this summer, went through the Custer battlefield site, and then I went into Yellowstone through the Montana side, which is probably the least traveled, and it's gorgeous.
Now, we hit it that way, too, through...
Big Beartooth Pass?
Was it? No, I don't remember now. The West Yellowstone, Montana. You don't think of Yellowstone as Montana, but there's that side of it when you pass through the Wyoming side. You hit Montana, and it's West Yellowstone, then up through the Rockies and Bozeman and all those places, and then up to Helena. I thought it was, they call it the land of the big sky, and when you get there, you realize it's just all this. Here in the East, because that's in the mountains, but here in the East, you don't seem to be aware of the sky quite as much. I think you are where you are in Kansas.
Yeah.
Because it's flat country and stuff.
We had a gorgeous sunrise this morning. But, yeah, it's beautiful up in Montana.
Okay, let's go to Jay in Dorchester. Jay, you're on WBZ.
Yes, good evening.
Good evening to you, sir.
Jay.
Yes.
Jay, can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can.
Okay, Jay. The nation of Guyana is located on what continent?
South America.
South America, that's correct. And if you remember that infamous settlement where cult leader Jim Jones asked hundreds of his followers to drink cyanide laced Kool-Aid?
Right.
What was the name of that town?
Oh.
Well, it's in the name.
What's the name of the town?
Yeah.
The development there?
Yeah, he named it after himself.
Yeah, you have
Jones City?
Well, I'll let you. It's Jonestown, Guyana.
Jonestown, right.
Yeah. And finally, here's the tough one. In what year did 911 people die in this mass suicide execution? What year was that?
The Jonestown?
Yeah, I'll give you choices. Was that 1975, 1978, or 1981?
78.
You are correct, sir. Congratulations. Are you in your car, by the way?
Yes.
Yeah.
Where are you right now, Jay?
I'm in Dorchester.
Oh, well, okay. But you don't live in Dorchester.
That's correct.
Okay, anyway, that doesn't really matter. Those were irrelevant questions. You don't get extra credit for it.
Bob was one, if not the first, game guest we ever had on. That started a whole trend on the show. It was the perfect thing to fill the 2-hour Sunday night broadcast. It started as a twice-a-year thing, just before summer, so listeners, if they won, had a new game to play while on vacation. And then before Christmas, because, well, it's Christmas. It was a month of Sundays that then blossomed to 2 months and maybe even more. All different guests or reappearances by the same creators who had a new game. I believe I had to cut it down to 1 guest per hour on Sunday to make sure we could get everyone booked. Such a fun and popular segment. We sent out so many games. And I always wondered how and if they also received a boost in sales too. I'll be sure to air more of these as I come across them. Closing the... Oh, geez, I almost forgot. Here's Norm singing his rewritten lyrics to You're the Top.
Okay, here we go. Words poetic, I'm so pathetic that I always have found it best, instead of getting them off my chest, to let them rest unexpressed. I hate parading my serenading, and I'll probably miss a bar. But if this ditty is not so pretty, at least you'll know how great you are. You're great, okay? You're the top. You're the self-esteem group. You're the top. You're a BZ news scoop. You're the Batchelder Band, your Wonderland, your Mel Torme. You're Bloomingdale, you're the Freedom Trail, you're Bob and Ray. You're the top. You're a Jewish deli. You're the top. You are Smucker's jelly. I'm just a broadcaster, a near disaster, a malaprop. But, baby, I'm the bottom, you're the top. Adorable person. You're the top. You're a Christmas eggnog. You're the top. A Joe and Emo hot dog. You're a Mouseketeer, Sam Adams beer, a Bruins gold. You're the Topsfield Fair, Scully Square, the totem pole. You're divine. A Julia Child dinner. You outshine any megabucks winner. I'm a rush hour traffic, my fault so graphic, a flop. Baby, I'm the bottom, but you're the top. You're the top. The Cyclone at Revere Beach, you're the top. A James Michael Curley speech. You're Bozo the Clown, Charlie Brown, Noah's Ark. You're the Boston Pops, Satchmo's Chops. You're Fenway Park. You're the top. You are Noel Coward. You're the top. You're Antorio's Old Howard. You're the Swan Boats in Summer, Batchelder's Drummer, Dizzy's Bop. But if baby I'm the bottom, you're the top, damn it. You're the top. You're the Harvard-Yale game. You're the top. You are my old flame. Your Filene's and Macy, Blues by Basie, a 10-speed bike. Your Faneuil Hall, Celtics basketball, your Lenny's on the bike. You're the top. The Drive of Buddy Rich. You're the top. A genuine Salem witch. I'm a bad singer, a humdinger, and now I'm about to stop because, baby, if I'm the bottom, you're the top. Thank you.
Pure genius. Okay, closing the vault and leaving this world a little sillier than we found it. For the Atacama Desert, credibility, continental questions, the Greater and Lesser Antilles, Lynn and Chelsea, the girls' names, not the cities, Little Rhodey, Bob Dole, the Battle of New Orleans, Love for Sale, Malfunctioning Peepers Keyrings, Billy Clyde, the Bob Batchelder Band, Self-Esteem Boston, the Wonderland Ballroom in Revere,